Okay, you guys, so I'm trying to get to the bottom of this new Ashanti and Nelly family moment that has the internet talking, because Ashanti just publicly thanked Nelly's daughter Chanelle for giving her credit for being there for Nelly, and people are reading real deep into that. The hook here is simple. Blended family, destiny talk, and baby KK all wrapped into one emotional exchange that fans say proves this relationship hit different the second time around. The receipts on this come straight from Ashanti's own words and Chanelle's reaction. Ashanti said it was all love and that destiny always finds its way back, and she specifically thanked Chanelle for recognizing her role in Nelly's life. Now, the blind item reads like this wasn't just a casual thank you, but a moment of mutual respect between stepmom and daughter that felt real and unforced. Fans pointed out that Chanelle didn't have to say anything at all, but she did. And Ashanti didn't brush it off. She embraced it. Let's be real, that's not no light work when you walk into a man's life who already has grown kids and history. It really makes you wonder how much healing had to happen behind the scenes for Chanelle to feel comfortable enough to speak on Ashanti like that. Because usually when you see celebrity blended families, it's tension, shade, or silence. This time it looked like acknowledgement and appreciation, and that's why people are calling it mature and grown. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Ashanti also said that destiny always finds its way, and she went on to say that out of everyone she has ever dated, she always felt something special with Nelly. According to the way she explained it, their connection never really went away, it just paused. If this is true, it's very concerning for all the other exes, because she basically admitted Nelly was the one who stayed in her heart the whole time. And then she said something that really had fans clutching their pearls. She joked that when she plays too much with Nelly, she might end up pregnant again because he's always wanted a child with her since they first met. The blind item reads like Nelly had baby fever from the beginning, but the timing just wasn't right back then. When they reunited years later, people said he wasted no time locking it in, and now they've got their 1-year-old son, baby KK, who's already has the internet calling him spoiled and blessed. Let's be real, the timeline is what has folks talking. Nelly and Ashanti met years ago, dated, broke up, lived whole separate lives, and somehow still circled back. That's why fans keep pushing this destiny narrative. They're saying this isn't just celebrity love, this is we tried other people and still came back love. That's not no light work emotionally, especially when kids from previous relationships are involved. Now, according to the lawsuit, well, not a lawsuit, but you know how the blogs be exaggerating, some people online are saying this reunion was allegedly always part of the plan, like they never fully cut each other off. I'm not saying that's true, I'm just telling you what the streets are whispering. It really makes you wonder if some of those past relationships were just distractions while the real story was waiting to restart. What makes this even deeper is Ashanti thanking Chanelle directly. That tells me she knows the role Chanelle plays in Nelly's emotional life. A man's kids see everything. They see who shows up, who stays, who supports their dad when cameras are off. So for Chanelle to say something positive and for Ashanti to respond with love, that's a big deal in celebrity culture where egos usually clash. And the baby KK part, that sealed it for the fans. People are saying Nelly finally got what he wanted all along, a baby with Ashanti. Ashanti basically confirmed he wanted a baby from the start, and now they have 1-year-old KK who's already being called the glue of the family. Some fans even said that baby changed Nelly's whole energy, like he looks softer and happier now than he did before. It really makes you wonder if this is why Ashanti sounds so confident talking about destiny. She's not speaking hypothetically, she's speaking from a place of we went through it and still ended up here. That's why her thank you to Chanelle hit different, because it wasn't just about romance, it was about family, acceptance, and acknowledging that Nelly doesn't just come with love, he comes with children, history, and responsibility. What really got people talking after that thank you exchange was how calm and secure Ashanti sounded when she spoke about her place in Nelly's life. She wasn't trying to prove anything or shade anybody, she just said it was love and that destiny always finds its way. That kind of language usually comes from someone who feels settled, not someone still fighting for position. It really makes you wonder if this second chapter with Nelly feels more peaceful to her than the first one ever did.
Fans also started pulling up old interviews where Ashanti admitted she always felt something different with Nelly compared to other men she dated. She said she had love in past relationships, but with him it was deeper, like familiarity mixed with attraction. Let's be real, that's not no light work to admit publicly when you've had other high-profile relationships. People are saying she basically confirmed what fans suspected for years, that Nelly was never just another ex. Then you've got the Nelly side of the story, which fans say lines up perfectly. He's been open about wanting more family in his life, and Ashanti hinted that he wanted a child with her from the very beginning. That makes this reunion look less random and more like unfinished business finally being completed. If this is true, it's very concerning for anyone who thought this was just a casual rekindling, because it sounds more like a long-term plan finally coming into place. The baby factor changed everything. When they welcomed baby KK, people noticed a shift in how both of them talked about love. Ashanti sounded softer and Nelly sounded more grounded. Fans said the baby didn't just make them parents, it made them a unit. That's why Chanelle's acknowledgement hit so hard, because it showed this wasn't just a couple thing, it was a family thing. Some fans even said Chanelle giving Ashanti credit for being there for Nelly was her way of showing approval. And in celebrity families, approval from grown kids is huge. It really makes you wonder what kind of relationship they've built behind the scenes, because that kind of respect doesn't come from photo ops, it comes from consistency, showing up and not trying to replace anybody, just adding to the family. Now let's talk about the destiny line again, because that's the part people keep replaying. Ashanti didn't say, "we reconnected," she said, "destiny finds its way." That sounds like someone who believes this reunion was meant to happen. Let's be real, when people use words like destiny, they're talking about something that survived time, distance, and other relationships. That's not just nostalgia, that's emotional investment. The blogs also pointed out how Ashanti joked about getting pregnant if she plays too much with Nelly. That comment alone made fans scream because it showed she's comfortable, playful, and aware of how much he wanted a child with her. It really makes you wonder if more kids are in their future, or if that was just her being funny and flirty with the truth. What's interesting is how the public narrative flipped. Years ago, people saw them as an on and off celebrity couple. Now, people are calling them a grown love story. Same two people, totally different energy. That's not no light work, because it takes maturity to come back to someone without dragging old baggage into the new chapter. And the fact that Ashanti thanked Chanelle publicly instead of keeping it private shows she wanted the world to see there's no tension there. That's a message in itself. It says we're not hiding, we're not beefing, we're building. In an industry where drama sells more than peace, that's actually a bold move. So now the big question is this: do you think Ashanti and Nelly were always meant to end up together? Or do you think this is just a lucky second chance that worked out because they both grew up? And how do you feel about Chanelle stepping in and giving Ashanti that recognition? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.